This is a celebration and a coming together that's been happening in Midland for 76 years now. To me, it's just part of the fabric of the city. I remember when we were recovering from COVID and I went to carry the permits into the city. You know, the folks who work for the city are looking at it going, it's happening again. And it just felt good. That kind of tells me that it's more than just a St. Anne's thing, that it's really a Midland event. And it's a grand one, I think. I'm Deacon Tom Collier, and I am the business manager and pastoral associate here at St. Anne's.
And what does that job entail?
Whole lot of everything.
So I became Catholic in 2006. So I guess it's 18 years. There was a snafu. The chairs that year had some bingo chairmen that were transferred to Houston, so they weren't going to be here during the fair. So they had to, before the fair in September, they had to find chairman for the bingo booth, which is one of the larger booths in the fair. I'm brand new Catholic. The father at the time was Monsignor Larry Droll, called me and, I'm still on fire, and he calls and says, hey, we need some help. And I just said, yep, no problem. And not realizing what it all entailed.
September of 1979, that's when my oldest son came to school at St. Anne's. You just feel like you have to do your part, share, and help with the fair. When my son was in 6th grade, we wanted to make it special, so we thought we'd give him a good exit out of St. Anne's, and we decided we'd share the fair. And so that was a big taking on. It was a big thing. We didn't know how big it was until you're actually in it and doing it.
Our first meeting of the fair team usually is in November, prior to the fair. So we have been meeting November, December, all the way through. So it's about a full year process. We have that many things that go on. We have our big raffle and deciding our raffle prize and figuring out what the budget's going to be and what all we're going to do for the next year. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that.
In my office, we're just dealing with selling tickets, answering questions. How late is it going to stay on? What time does it start? What are the prizes?
Everybody that works in this fair is a volunteer. So the more you drag them, hey, we need you to come work Friday and Saturday. And, of course, it takes a week to set up the fair. So we have volunteers that all come out throughout the week to set that up. Somehow, magically, it takes us a week to set it up and we get it all torn down and put away on Sunday.
It's a real blessing, but it is a whole lot of work.
A lot of the booths have always been the same, but as different chairs have come in, they've said, hey, what if we try this? What if we try that? Tic-tac-toe and fishing and Nerf gun, that's one that's relatively new over the last several years. Marble drop and aqua drop, and there's a bunch of games for the kids that are great. They love it.
People bring in some ideas, something maybe they might have seen somewhere else. It might be a drink, it might be a flavored popcorn, just different ideas that you have.
And then, of course, we have food booths. We have barbecue and sausage and tacos and margaritas and nachos.
The fair has been pretty consistent, except about a year ago we lost our carnival. And what we did is we replaced that with inflatable rides for the kids, and that seemed to really be a hit.
The carnival is one thing that's changed. For last year's fair, the carnival backed out. So there's a company in town that has blow-ups, not just the kind that are just jumpers, but they have slides and they have a climbing wall that you can do, and they have a bucking bronco thing, and they just have all different kinds. The biggest changes actually have happened this year. We went from tickets for everything to a card system, which has been early headaches, but nothing that was insurmountable. So we got over those, and it's been fantastic. All the people running the booths love it. The patrons seem to love it. So it was a good change. The way that we did it before, there was just so much cash here. People felt uncomfortable with that much cash, plus people spent till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning after the fair closes down, counting all of that money. It's just very labor intensive for the cash, where the card system is plug and play, and you can see how everything's doing throughout the day, real time. All the data was the most important thing to me. As somebody who's going to, for over the next year, make decisions on what booths are gonna be here and which booths may not be here, and then any changes that we need to make as far as that goes. Because at the end of the day, this is a fundraiser, and you've got to be as efficient as you can with the money that comes in and try to appease the masses and, hopefully make some money for the church and ultimately the school.
Well, this building was dedicated in 1959, but the first church in Midland, the original St. Anne's, which became St. George, was founded, I think, in 1898. And it wasn't on this location, it was more downtown. But St. Anne's of the Catholic Church has been a part of Midland since pretty much the very beginning.
I believe it started with an ice cream social, and then it's got to be better than the other. So one year, so you just add on, and then just made it to a fair.
On Fair Day, we probably will have $300,000 to $400,000 come in. We raise enough to where we can subsidize a really fair amount of scholarships for our school.
Anytime you have the opportunity to be able to go support an educational system, I think it's good because it's a fun time. There's good food, there's good entertainment.
We get calls from other organizations calling to find out when our fair is, because they're going to do something and they don't want to have it coincide with the family fair. They want to make sure they either do it the weekend before, the weekend after, because they know St. Anne's is the part of the city.
For one thing, we just want to have you here as our guest. Come enjoy St. Anne's campus, enjoy St. Anne's hospitality. There are a lot of really good, friendly people out here and a lot of fun. So we'd love for you to do that. Secondly, it supports our school. And if you want to stay and see what we're like as a church, we're open to that too. We'd love that. It's just a fun time with good people and good fellowship. You don't need to be Catholic to enjoy any of that.
To me, it's not all about the money, it's about the socializing and seeing how many people come. Oh my gosh, you'd be surprised. It starts off small because it's early in the day, and then people come out for lunch, and then before you know it, everybody's here for dinner, and then the mob, the big people, it's just packed. It's just standing room only, and you just kind of have to squish to get through. It's amazing how people come out. It's not a Catholic thing. It's not just for Catholic. It's for everyone in our community.
I think the fair is just another piece of the tradition of the way that Midland in general is viewed. That, if you come here, we'll open our arms and welcome you in and help you and support you, and we'll make sure that you're as successful as you want to be. I think the fair is just one example of that.
It hits the heart. It's part of me. It's part of my family. It's been a part of our life. I don't help as much, seems like. You get older and you don't do as much, but it's part of who I am.
I hope to see it grow more and more over the years. I don't know that the carnival will ever come back. There's a lot of weird logistic issues with that kind of thing happening. But I really feel like going to more efficient ways of doing things and knowing what people like so we can continue to give them more of what they like. That's what I see in the future, is food that they like, drink that they like, entertainment that they like. It just makes sense. Let's give people what they want.
To me personally, it's watching literally hundreds of people come together and work toward a common goal, which is just having the very best fair that we can, and then watching the whole city of Midland come out and enjoy that.